Well, since we had a really rough winter, it was tough to get the car back together in such a short amount of time. Jess was handling snow removal up in Virginia City, and we were all dealing with snow most of the winter. So it was the end of March when we started to get the car back together from a bare chassis. So here's some of the clips. So as usual, we run BFGs with the Vision wheel and Monster Seal. Not one flat, not one issue with our tires and wheels. Work great. So what we learned from previous Norras is that we definitely need some luggage space. So Jess's brother, amazing fabricator, came up with the design for our rack for the the chase car. So here are some of the pictures of it being assembled and how we put it to use. All right, Kevin, here's our Starlink setup. This wire is going to get run underneath here, go to the very front, and wrap down through the slider at the back of the window. Just put that on a little stand so it's above all my bags, and then it's on 500 pounds worth of magnets that hold it down. And I had my guy at my shop make that little black bracket so it's nice and low profile up there, and it shouldn't get much wind. We run these HCR arms and the ZRP knuckles and hubs, as well as the RCB axles. We've been pretty happy with all of them. It's been a great combo that's definitely heavier, but pretty bulletproof for the stuff that we're mobbing through. And Jess does a great job of servicing and building our motors. We pretty much just put head studs in them and some forged pistons, and just go for reliability. Well, a few months down, and she's back alive. Pinky 2.0. So we got some new Vision wheels, ZRP hubs. Got our new set of HCR arms on. RCB axles. New window nuts. So they're all framed. PRP put them in, thanks. Truck's loaded, we'll leave tomorrow. Thanks, Brian. Jess and Shane and B-Rad. There we are, Nick.
I can look and see where the engine RPM went to, what it maintained, what it was at the exit on speed, and you can see it normally flashes to at a higher RPM.
Yep.
And then drops down some. That's normal for any CVT, but those are the things we're looking at when we tune it. So, and here is like a diagram of clutching, and so on this axis we have speed, and then here we have engine RPM. So if we're sitting at a dead stop, the engine's idling at about 1500, but our speed is 0, so we're about here. What we want the thing to do with a CVT clutch is when we smash the throttle like a drag race from a stop, we want the RPM to immediately go to our peak power RPM, and then to stay there as the car accelerates to maintain that RPM until the clutch is fully shifted out. So that's when the clutch gets to high gear. It can no longer move the belt any higher for a higher gear ratio. And now it will gain RPM as the speed goes up.
There is a perfect place for these for your driving style and speed and all that.
So Steve-O, that we'll be able to take that little door and it'll go into that little case, and then we can run full power all the time. Let me know if you want me to argue yours out, talking about your case, not your head. All right, here we are. So the start was delayed 30 minutes, and Jess is at PCI. Jess, do you have anything you want to say about?
See how how's that? That means it's 360.
You're right.
Right. So while we're doing 80, I'll make sure that's on there.
Yes.
Here, do you want a drink? Here. A little bit in the front. Wait, here's the deal. Now we're going faster because the rear will beat it. So now the front, when you're pushing hard and you hit it, it bottoms. We bottom the front a few times. That's okay. We hit these bushes. That's a fucking understatement and a half. The lead nav said.
That was one of my 9-lines.
Yeah.
Well, I hit it, that one I was telling you about in a couple of days. Fuck! I thought you said pole.
Fun on day 2. Around race mile 30 or 40, we lost a wire that went to our coil, so we lost our number 1 cylinder, so we had to find a spare connector because our connector was smoked, and our spare was on the cart in the shop, which didn't help us, so we ended up reaching out to an old friend of mine, Bill Walton, who had one that we could harvest off his car. All right, Bill, so see this connector right here? That's gonna go into your coil. You're gonna plug that in, and then we're gonna make you a pigtail connector that's gonna connect right here, just like the
so
one
you're
that
just gonna cut that.
Yeah, we're gonna cut that and take that. We're gonna make our own connector and put it in there. Thank you very much, Bill. Of course, we'll recap on that a little bit later, but had a nice dinner thanks to Norra, and prepared for day 3.
Your antenna's broken.
Huh?
Your antenna's broken.
I gotta get my tube and shit on. Okay. I was working on it when you got pulled up. I thought I had more time. So Brian swapped into the car in San Ignacio, and we had a beer and some tacos, which was nice. So we watched him and followed him for probably over an hour or so before we left. Brian and Jess hit the same hole about 30 seconds, 40 seconds earlier, and luckily they were okay, but we broke a drive shaft, broke the gear case, and did some damage to the front diff. But again, luckily they were okay. Could have been much worse. Luckily, I think our suspension saved us, so thank you, Alltech. About 10 seconds after they hit this, or 30 seconds after they hit this, Mike Root hit it. They saw the bottom of his car.
He got so much air. He was in a early model Bronco. And then after he hit this is when Bob Briggs tomahawked his car, totaled it. Luckily, those guys were okay. Jess and Brian got his car rolled back over. And then about 20 seconds after that, the full-size Broncos launched on the same thing. And then his throttle smashed into their car, rolled it again. Norra official came over and helped them get it rolled over, and then he stayed to flag people down. It was just a rough day. Broke a leaf spring on the trailer. These guys got a tow to Insurgentes, so by the time we got back, it was about 12:30. Woke up at 6, swapped the gear case, tried to get the front drive shaft out, but the yoke was cross-threaded or smashed onto the drive shaft. Couldn't get it off, so we just went in two-wheel drive. Gonna make it to the start on time, and then leaky radiator, so probably from the tow we took a rock, put a hole in the radiator. I'm not sure, but really unfortunate. Long rough day. Didn't shoot any video. Was just too depressed. It was not fun.
Focus.
Yeah, did you get more on you in the car? Dude, you better get back out and get them off you. You don't want those fucking things on you. That'll hurt.
Well, unfortunately, in that silt bed, we only had two-wheel drive, so we were stuck behind that Class 10 car. Two other cars got stuck behind us, and then they were rammed by a fourth car, and they hit Rich Minga. Jess got out, was able to video that guy trying to take off. Luckily, he stayed, and we all got towed out by a tractor. I think they were in there tilling that stuff the night before.
Have a good night.
Day 4, super fun. Car handled great, despite only having 2-wheel drive. And it was nice to finally get a good break and enjoy some good dinner and relax for a night.
It's not from, it's like, how you said, like a baby beef? Veal? I think veal?
Oh, poor baby.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wasn't showing up, so Nick was freaking out.
Dick blocking everybody. I'm like, dude, get the fuck out of the way. And he's like, well, I'm waiting for my time. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Move this piece of shit. The white car? That big truck. All right, guys, you got it?
We'll see you at the finish line.
Bye. See you there. Right on, buddy. We're there.
Oh, big thanks to these guys who crushed it leading up to the race as well as during the race. Super fun, so lucky to have them.
Hey! Hey! Something's rattling. You getting some hot dogs?
You want some mayo?
As usual, good times hanging out with everybody on the last day. Then we made our way back up to Bay of LA to go fish and also pay our thanks to Bill Walton who loaned us that part of his wiring harness. So we gotta take care of him.
Do you have a little light?
Nope.
Okay. So any issues with the car or anything, or?
Yeah. We did have an issue. We had a big G out that was terrible. We lost the gear case and driveline. All right, we're getting some lobster. Look at those bad boys. Very nice. What do you think, Bill?
They're big.
They were big. Wow, look at that bad boy.
Turn around.
That's pretty good.
Look at that.
Look how big those things are.
What do you think, Shane? Yeah, thanks again, Bill. We wouldn't have been able to continue on after day 2 had we not hooked up with you, and you helped us out. Really appreciate it. So we had a good time with Bill, had a nice dinner, and we went fishing the next day as well as the second day after that. Caught some nice yellowtail with the boys, so it was super fun. Shane, how was that one?
Beautiful.
Yeah, the Norra was just an amazing event. I highly recommend it to anybody that's considering it, only because you get to work on your stuff at night if you mess something up like we did, and you get to hang out with some really great people. Kevin's team, Charlie's team, I mean, just so many good people. And a big thanks to my wife and family for allowing me to do this stuff. They hold down the fort and keep the show running on the home front while I get to go and do this adventure stuff. It's super fun, and I thank them immensely.